Hello students, welcome back. So now we are going to be learning normal distribution. This distribution, it is a continuous probability distribution. And here your data is symmetrically distributed around the average value, around the mean value. And this is how it looks like. If this is your mean value, your data would be distributed like symmetrically. And it forms a bell-shaped curve. Well, the reason it's called bell-shaped curve because if you look at it, it almost looks like a bell shape. Now, most of your values, they will happen, they'll be lying near your average value. If this is my average, that means most of my data is going to be lying around the average. That means in this area right here. So let's say this is my age right here. So most, and let's say my mu is comes out to be, let's say 51. That means most of my age value is going to be lying around the average value of 51 years old. Now, as you move away from your main value, away from the center, your fewer and fewer values will be happening, will be actually over there. So, for example, as you're going away from your main value, so let's say you come over here, you can see that the count is becoming smaller and smaller. Same thing over here. When you're moving away from your average in this direction, your count is actually becoming smaller and smaller. In other words, your frequency is going down. Now let's understand this through an example. Suppose you have following data right here. This is, let's say, somebody's age. 51, 55, 55, 55, 56, 50, all the way up to 72 and 74. So your maximum value is 74 and your minimum value is 51. So suppose we create two bins of equal size. Well, our bin width is going to be, in this case, the maximum value of your data minus the minimum value divided by the total number of bins. Here, my maximum value of my data is 74 and my minimum value is 51. So my bin width is going to be 74 minus 51 divided by 2. Divide by 2 because I need two bins and my bin width is going to be 11.5. So my bin starts with the minimum value, that is 51. That will be right here. So you take 51 and you add 11.5. That is your bin width. And your answer will come out to be 62.5. So my bin is going to be from 51 to 62.5. This is my bin 1. And your second bin is going to be from 62.5. And you add 11.5 to that. And your answer will come out to be 74. So my second bin is going to be this one right here. Now we can count how many values lie in this bin and this bin. Well, if you count on the first bin right here, you will have 36 count. And for the second bin, that will be this right here, you're going to see 64. You can actually count over here from 51 to 62.5. Your 51 is over here. You go all the way up to 62.5 falls over here. So if you count from 51, 55, 55, you can all these values up to here, you will see there are 36 values. Likewise, when you calculate, when you count how many values have from here all the way up to here, you will see the count is 64. Now, if we plot a histogram of these two bins, this one and this one, it will look something like this over here. So here you can see that this is my 51 to 52, sorry, 62.5. This is my first bin. And the count for first bin is 36. There are 36 values between 51 to 62.5. So this one is 36. That's my frequency. Now, the second bin that goes from 62.5 to 74, that will be right here. You have 64 values in it. So that's why you see this right here. This will be 64. Now suppose we increase our bin count to 4. So in this case, my bin width is going to be 74 minus 51. That will be this maximum minus the minimum. And in this case, you're going to dividing by 4 because you want 4 bin count. And the answer will come out to be 5.75. That's my bin width. So my first bin is going to be starting with 51 to 56.75. Basically, I'm just taking 51 and I'm adding 51 plus 5.75, and this will give me 56.75. So this is my first bin from 51 to 56.75. That will be up to here. My second bin is going to start with 56.75 to up to 62.5. Basically, I'm just taking 56.75 and you add bin width, which is plus 5.75, and you will get 62.5 right here. So that will go from here all the way up to up to here right here. Okay, the third bin is going to be from 62.5 to 68.5. And same thing with the fourth bin right here. So I plotted these bins over here. You can see that actually I'm using color coding. So this is my first bin right here. And this from here to here is my second bin. And from here to up to here is my third bin. And this is my fourth bin. And if you count, you will see that the first bin has six. One, two, three, four, five, six values. The second bin has 30. That would be this bin right here. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to here, you will see 30 values. And likewise, for the third bin, you have 46 count, and for fourth bin, you have 18. Now, when you plot this over here, you will see your graph, your histogram will look something like this. So in this case, this is my 51, and this one is 56.75, and bin width is 5.75. Okay, and this right here is my count, that will be 6. So this is 6. Likewise, the number of values from 56.75 to 62.5, that is right here. Okay, this is I'm plotting this right here. I'm plotting this one right here. It'll be 30. So you can see that the value is 30 right here. Now, if you take a look at your histogram, you'll notice something interesting, that your curve actually is going like this right here. It is going and almost taking a shape of a bell curve. It's not there yet, but it is almost reaching there. And now let's increase our bin count to 10. Our bin width in this case going to be using the same formula, would be 74 minus 51. In this case, I divide by 10 and the answer comes out with 2.3. So my bin width is going to be 2.3. So we use the same logic as we did before. So your bin 1 is going to be your minimum value, that is your 51, and then you add 2.3 to that. That will be your 53.3. So your bin 1 is going to be from 51 to 53.3. Likewise, your bin 2 is going to be 53.3 to 55.6. And you can keep going like this. And your bin 10 would be 71.7 up to 70. Now, when you count how many values they fall under bin 1, bin 2, bin 3, all the way to bin 10, you will get this number right here. 1, 3, 6, 10, 16, 18, 24, 11, 4, 7. Let's do one of them. Let's do this one. 51 to 53.3. Your 51 is over here, and 53.3 it will be somewhere over here. So the number of values between 51 and 53.3 is 1. Is 1 right here. Let's take a look at this one. From 53.3 to 55.6. 55.6 will be somewhere over here, and you can see that there are only 3 values over here, and this is how you get 3 values. Likewise, you can see the 6, 10, all the way up to 7 right here. Now when you plot this will look something like this. So this is your first bin, your second bin, third bin, fourth, fifth, and if you look at your curve, look at that, it is almost taking a shape of a bell curve right here, and it is coming almost like very close to the bell curve. So we notice something interesting, that as the number of bins they increase, your histogram, it becomes bell-shaped curve. That is, it is taking a shape of your normal distribution right here. And now I'll show you the code that plotted this histogram. So first thing I'm doing, importing my NumPy, and this is my data right here. It actually starts with 51, 55, 55, all the way up to 72, 74. And I'm sorting my data right here. Next step, I'm importing my matplotlib library. I'm specifying my bin count. In this case, I want 10. And from my matplotlib library, I'm calling this hist method, giving my data as an argument, also specifying my bin count, and also just making some edge color as green and my color as gold, and putting some title, X labels, Y label, and tick parameter, and then I'm asking it to plot it. And there you go. This is how this one actually gets plotted, just based on this little code right here.